Jeff Halpern is one of those lifelong sailors who understands the dynamics of sailing and the boats that we sail. I think what distinguishes him, besides for the fact that he tends to look at the science and technology of sailing in more detail than most, is that he has spent the time understanding the interaction of the various sciences and has also spent time trying to figure out how to explain complex scientific concepts to people who are not necessarily science-based or even interested in science. Jeff, I've heard that very heavy boats are the safest boats. Could you please comment?
But the reality of boats like that is they're very high drag. There's a lot of resistance to those boats. And to get them to go through the water, you carry a lot of sail area. And when it comes time to fight a storm, you still need enough sail area to keep going through that storm. A key element of a boat design is that it's structurally sound, that it can take the beating of that storm. And one thing about the West sails are they're pretty robust. That's what a lot of people are attracted to. And there's no such thing as a boat that will get an unskilled skipper and crew through a storm. They aren't inherently stable for their weight. You end up reefing those boats pretty early. It comes down to this range of issues about motion comfort. The longer the waterline, the more the waterline is spread out, will result in a boat that's far more comfortable than trying to cram that into a short waterline length. In its design weight, it's still going to be pretty rolly. When you deal with something that's round bottom, essentially a cylinder, there's very little to keep it from continuing to rock past the point that it should stop. The wave is already starting to change shape, but the boat has so much momentum and so little hull shape to change that roll that you're trading rolling for a little bit slower motion. The court of public opinion has focused on this idea that slow rolling is better. And the reason is that when they first started doing lightweight boats, the hull shapes were terrible. And these things would have jarring motions. That was really genuinely uncomfortable. But so does large roll angles, because you're constantly moving your body to deal with those large roll angles. There's a whole thing about how long keels track better. But when you talk about small boats, it's not about how long the keel is that controls tracking. What really controls tracking on a boat is how well they balance, because the dynamic forces far exceed anything that keel is going to do.